The White House and President Trump's Republican supporters in Congress first said that the impeachment proceedings against President Trump were unfair because there had been no floor vote in the House authorizing the impeachment inquiry. That was their first objection. This isn't a real impeachment. It's unfair. There has been no floor vote. Then, the House held a floor vote authorizing the impeachment inquiry, and that took care of that objection. So then they needed a new one. Then they said the impeachment inquiry against President Trump was actually unfair because the hearings to collect evidence in the inquiry were conducted behind closed doors. That was it. That was the next objection. There are no public hearings. And they stormed the closed-door hearing room to make this point. But then after expressing that as their big concern in terms of the fairness of the hearings, then, again, the House decided that, well, they would hold public hearings. They would hold lots and lots of public hearings, hours and hours of them, almost too many hours for any one person to watch without getting a cramp. That meant it was time for a new objection. What the White House and the president's Republican supporters in Congress came up with next was the objection that the president and his legal team had not been invited to participate in the impeachment proceedings. So no floor vote, then there's a floor vote. No public hearings, then there's public hearings. So this was their sort of next good try. This is not fair. This isn't a real impeachment. The president has not been invited to participate. And then naturally, the president was invited to participate. Well, today, the Trump White House responded to that invitation to them to participate in the impeachment proceedings, and they said, actually, they have no intention of participating in the proceedings anyway. At least that's what we think this letter means. I wanted to put the letter up there full screen just because I wanted you to know why I was distracted. The signature on this letter is so enormous and weird. It's a little bit hard to focus on anything else in terms of the content of this letter, but basically what we believe is that this is a letter from the White House counsel saying, no, we're not going to participate in your little charade. We still consider it unfair. I mean, what that means is for a third straight time, the objections by the White House and the president's Republican supporters that this is all so unfair. I mean, those objections, one by one, have been overtaken by events, right? If you had taken them at their word at any point over this impeachment saga so far, you might have thought their objection to the impeachment was that there hadn't been a floor vote or it was behind closed doors or the president hadn't been invited. But when all of those things they were complaining about got corrected, right, when all of those things in real terms came around to what they said they wanted, the White House and the Republicans in Congress still objected. They still said, this is all so unfair, we'll have nothing to do with it.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.